Welcome. In this session, we will cover Python lists. We will learn about what is a Python list and why do we need it. We will also cover how to subset and manipulate a list. So let's get back to the Jupyter Notebook. Before we proceed with the list, let us revisit the types of data we have covered in our previous video. We have seen that we have data types like integer. For example, I say income equals to 1000 and print income. I click on run. I see the value as 1000. If I see the type of income, it says int. It's an integer. However, if I say savings is equals to 900.50 and I say print savings, it prints 900.5 and the type of the savings variable is shown up as float. We have also seen character data like say names equals to Mary, and when I say print names, it will print Mary, and if we say what is the type of the variable names, it says it's a string data. We have also seen Boolean values. For example, loves ice cream is equals to true, and when I say print loves ice cream, it prints true, and the type of the variables is shown up as bool. Now, having learned this, we also see the need of having objects where we can hold different types of data. Let's see how we do this. So I will just delete these cells for cleaning up the notebook. So we will create a list in Python. A list in Python is a data structure that can hold different types of data at the same time. So if I say that I have 4 customers with me and I know how much they have spent, which means the names of the customer would be a character data, whereas the amount they have spent would be an integer or a floating data. So let us create a list. Say for example, we want to hold the names of the customers and the amount they have spent. So I name the variable as customers, and we create a list with a square bracket. We give the name of the customer, say Mary. Mary has spent say $650, and then we say Tom, and Tom has spent $45.75, and say Jane has spent $500. So we give the numbers without quotes in order to mention that those are numbers, whereas the names are being string, we put them in quotes. Note that we have used integer as well as the floating values. So when we create this list and we say print customers, it gives me the values like Mary 650, Tom 45.75, and Jane as 500. Here I have created a list which holds both string data as well as numeric data. We can also create lists of lists. For example, I can have many smaller set of lists and combine them into a bigger list. For example, I want to capture customer name if the customer owns a car and the income of the customer. In order to do that, I can say I have my first customer whose name is Mary and she owns a car. I denote it with a true, and her income is $10,000. Now I can have the second customer whose name is Tom and he is not having a car and he earns $9,500. And again, I have another customer whose name is Jane, and she owns a car, and her earning is 7500. That's $7,500. Now these are all, each of them are smaller lists. How do we put them into a bigger list? We define a variable, say customer list, and we put all of this smaller list into a bigger list that is within the square bracket. And when I run this now and I say print customer list, it prints all the small subsets of the list. It prints all the subset of the lists. In order to see what kind of object this customers and customer list is, we can use the type function, pass the customers, and it says it's a list. We can again use the type function and pass the customer list object, and it also says it's a list. So in order to wrap up, we have seen several data types that Python supports, that's integer, float, string, and boolean. And we have also seen Python lists, which can combine different types of data types. Now we will see how to subset and manipulate lists. Thank you. Happy learning.